today I'm gonna repot this Grammatophyllum Scriptum, which I bought last February 9 and has grown 2 new growths now, and will probably overgrow this pot once the 2 new growths mature. And we can see that the growths are relatively healthy and big. Back then though, it has no new growths or anything, just these 3 pseudobulbs as a clump, and they also gave me a freebie, which is a separate single pseudobulb, which I will show later in the video as well. And that particular one also grew 2 new growths, but those growths are relatively smaller. And this is the other pseudobulb that I was talking about. The growths are much smaller compared to the clump, but that's understandable because it's a single bulb division. I was even a bit skeptical about the single bulb, if it will survive or put out new growths, but it surprised me and it put up 2 new growths, so I'm very happy about that. And here are the potting media that I'm gonna use. These are wood scraps, some big chunks of charcoal, and also small chunks later, and some coconut husks that I manually chopped and made into cubes. So I also cut up some water gallons or water containers that are damaged and made them into DIY pots because it's much more affordable than buying a new pot. Another reason that I use these types of potting media is that it is readily available and free here due to the fact that we have many coconut trees lying around, and we have also lots of charcoal because we use them for cooking. And here are the photos when I unboxed them and when I first potted them. We can notice that upon unboxing, the pseudobulbs are really plump, but a few days later they became wrinkled. And I would like to let you know that that is normal, because at this point they're trying to convert their energy or lean towards growing a new growth, so they're spending much more energy and nutrients to those available nodes or eyes so that they will turn into new growths rather than focusing on pumping up the pseudobulbs that they have. And for the repotting proper, you might be wondering why I am using scrap woods at the bottom, and that is because by using big chunks of wood I can save on a lot of charcoal and cocoa husks, because the wood will take much more space and I can use less medium and save more of it. You may also notice that at the bottom of the pot there's no holes, and that is because I want some of the water to stay at the bottom so that it can retain more moisture, because currently in the Philippines it's around 40 degrees Celsius to 45 degrees Celsius and it's very hot, and a lot of the plants and the potting media and soil dries out really fast. And now we're going to take a look at the root system of this Grammatophyllum Scriptum variety Leopard. And to be fully honest, I was really surprised when I unpotted this, because the roots are very healthy, very many new root tips, and actually all of those are new root tips, and they're very healthy and well established now. And it's just around like a month or 2 since I bought it. Yeah, it's going 2 months now and it's really healthy. And also a quick tip, if you are indeed repotting, especially symposial orchids, I would recommend that you put the back bulbs as near as possible at the edge of the pot, because the other bulbs will grow towards the center in that case, because if you already align it in the center of the pot, most likely it will tip out of the pot or go out of the pot on one side only and the other half of the pot won't be utilized. So that's my quick tip, and also most of the orchid growers know that, but in case you did, then at least now you know. And I forgot to say, but I hope you can excuse my dirty hands because of the charcoal, and also please excuse my hair being on the frame because I was trying to see if I am placing the media correctly and if I am placing it too tightly, and so that I could avoid damaging the new root tips. You might also wonder why I put more coconut husk than charcoal along the base of the orchid, and that is because I want the base, or at least the roots of the orchid, to stay moist and not dry out completely or dry out too much and be damaged. And at this point, I am just gonna fill up the loose air pockets or loose spots with smaller chunks of coconut husk and smaller chunks and finer bits of charcoal. And before I forget, I actually got this for only around 200 pesos including shipping fee, so that is around $3.58, which is really affordable because these are usually sold around 500 pesos. And they are a lot smaller than this because they're grown from seeds. Soon enough though, I'll try to find and also buy the green variety, which is the Grammatophyllum Scriptum variety citrinum, because I really want that to complete my Grammatophyllum Scriptum varieties as a mini collection, if you will. These Grammatophyllums as well are very heat tolerant, and they are very tolerant of direct sun. Only morning sun though, because I'm not sure if they are able to tolerate afternoon and noon sun, because most probably they will be burnt. But aside from that, they can tolerate around 2 to 3 hours of direct morning sun. They're very forgiving plants, and they are really easy to grow. They're not that finicky as long as you water them correctly and you put them in the right media. And the right media that I mean is that any media that works for you, that works for your watering schedule, and especially a media that works well with your environment. And now I am done, and I'm gonna show to you the end product. And here it is. And the one on the right is the one I showed you earlier. I did not repot that one because it can still accommodate those two new growths and still has quite a space. And here's the last part. For me, I always water most of my orchids after repotting, and they're growing well and doing well, no rotting or anything. And my word of advice is that it always depends on your environment, your orchid, and the grower if they want to water or not by the end of the day. And also I would like to say that please do not worry about me getting water into the new growths, because the water will dry out easily and won't leave any water inside the new growth. And as always, thank you for watching. That is all, and see you in my next videos. Bye!